Welcome Wargamers, and this is another quick unboxing and a review on a product that Games Workshop have just released, which is absolutely awesome. If you've ever had an interest in the hobby but not necessarily got into it, or if you've got friends and family that may be tempted, this product is absolutely awesome, just to give them an overview of what this hobby is all about as a whole, because there's quite a lot to it and it does its best at explaining it all. So I'm going to take the miniature that you get for free with this book out and take a look at it. It's got a lovely textured base. It's basically an intercessor, but it's a nice miniature. It's an extra one for you to add to your collection if you are already into the hobby. But the main thing is the book, in my opinion, and I think this is aimed towards new hobbyists, and I think if you are already into 40k you will know a lot about this anyway, so it might not be for you, but you've got to remember that every product Games Workshop releases will not be necessarily for everybody anyway. So there's a lot of content in this book to get through, but it goes through the main parts of the hobby, and that's collecting, building, painting and playing, as well as a lot of the background. So there's a lot to get through. So I'm just going to flick through the book and show you what is inside here, and maybe it will be for you, maybe it will be for somebody else that you know that might be interested. So this might give you a bit more of a push to get into the hobby and maybe take the plunge. So it goes over the background first of all of the different factions, which is one of the main things. When you start this hobby you don't know where to start, you don't know which army to begin with, and it's nice that it starts this off just showing you a bit of a background of all of the main factions which are in here, and it makes it a bit easier for you to get an idea of which army you would pick. And then it leads on to collecting the miniatures and what that's all about, and showing you some examples of armies that have been collected by other hobbyists as well, and what the armies may look like once you've started to expand and add the units into there and build a full army. And then it goes on to playing games, and it talks a lot about the battle reports. There is a battle report in here which is very typical of the old battle reports that you used to get in the White Dwarfs, and obviously the stuff that they've started doing again recently. We do get a nice little picture of the new Death Guard tank as well, so I thought I'd stick that in there. Once it's gone through that, it goes on to what would be good products to expand. So if you just got into the hobby and you wanted to start, what products would be good for you? So it's showing you the easy to build Death Guard miniatures as well as the easy to build Primaris miniatures. So we already know that they're quite good if you're starting out. They're quite simple in terms of starting, but there are other options in terms of beginning the hobby, so it shows you all of that as well. Then it goes on to the background of the actual universe of 40k and what's going on in all the different war zones, and then it's quickly on to the Citadel miniatures showcase, which is showing you all the high quality models. And then we're on to how to paint all of these, so it's explaining to you all of the different techniques in terms of painting, like base coating, layering, shading, that sort of stuff, and it's giving you a very good in-depth description on how all of those work and what they all mean, because as a new hobbyist you might not know any of this, so it's nice to have it all in a easy to go flick through book. So that's another nice part of this which I quite like the idea of. It's also got examples of how to paint the Space Marines as well as how to paint Death Guard, so it's quite easy to follow again. At the end as well we've got the actual rules for how to play, so this is explaining you how you play the game, what data sheets are, what codexes are, and the main phases of the game. And it's also got examples of rules, so if you weren't too sure on it, it gives you examples and pictures and shows you what they actually mean when they, you know, if you're reading something it's not as easy as visually looking at the game in play, so it's nice that they've put that in as well. The rest of the book is basically how to actually play the scenarios, how to expand your armies and that sort of stuff. But overall it's a nice book. It's £5 recommended retail price. I think it's a fairly decent price for one miniature and all of this, especially if you're new to the hobby. If you think this is for you, definitely pick that up. Give us a like if you've enjoyed this video and if it's helped you out. Let us know down below if you're new to the hobby or if you're returning and whether this has helped you, and share it to anyone you think would be interested as well, because obviously the more the merrier. The more hobbyists in this game, the more opponents you have got, or the more fellow hobbyists you have to sit and paint with, so it's all good in the long run. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again.